Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Moss Nissan in Newport Richey, Florida, and guess what? You guys have asked me for this, and I am delivering it to you. We have a 2019 Nissan Frontier SV trim with the new special midnight package on it. So let's talk a little bit about the Frontier. Frontier actually hit the streets back in 1997, and it's been one of those trucks that Nissan has kind of neglected when it comes to updates and really bringing it into the 21st century. What's fascinating though is that Frontier sales have actually been on the rise a little bit. And I think what's happening is as the prices of other mid-size trucks, the new Ranger, the Toyota Tacoma, the Chevrolet Colorado, GMC Canyon, as those prices have gone up, people are starting to flock to their Nissan dealerships because they're finding a lot of value. If you want a truck, especially for work purposes or whatnot, and you're not too hung up on it having all the latest, greatest technology, the Frontier might be the truck for you value-wise. So let's go ahead, dive into this Frontier SV with the midnight treatment on it. Right off the bat, it's those traditional lines on a Frontier. All the way down to the headlight housing, really shows the age of this truck. But as you drop down, you do have fog lamps down low, which is a nice touch. Now, as we go across the front, what I like about this one, first of all, is I like the white. Second of all, with the midnight package, everything's blacked out. So you have that V-shaped grille, that signature series grille for Nissan. The Nissan badge has been blacked out. I do like the flat black in the center portion here. Does make it look more rugged, and you can see the amount of ground clearance that we have with this Frontier. Now, as we go up onto the hood, straightforward and to the point. Two body lines, start with the V, go all the way back to the windshield, and kind of keep that raised midsection back there. Now, as we come around the bend, I do like the wheel package on this. As we come around the corner here, gloss black, really working with the white paint job. Now, if you're wondering, well, what is this size? This is an 18-inch wheel, so 18 inches in diameter. It's gonna be a 60 series on the sidewall, 265 on the width. You got your Nissan badging right there, and you can see the amount of space that you have from the top of the tire to the inside of the fender. Tom will probably zoom in and show you. You can see some of the suspension equipment behind there, which is always nice to see, especially if you are a true truck enthusiast. Now, one thing that you'll notice, like many other trucks, is you still got that good old-fashioned antenna. I'm gonna zonk that, but I think on this Frontier, I'm gonna have to be careful because, like I said, value price leader is what we're looking at here. You do have gloss black on the mirrors. That's also part of that midnight package with the wheels and the blacked out emblems. Nice running boards, flat black across the bottom there. Plastic door handles. Now, I wish they would have done something different with the door handles because these are flat black and this is gloss and it's not really jiving together. You do have flat black around the window treatment. As we go down, you can see this is a full crew cab, those 4 functioning doors. Bed of the truck. So when we get to the bed portion, I'm happy to see that you're protected. Not only are you protected on the top part, but we'll show you on the inside, you do have a full bed liner and everything. As we drop down, you can see the rear suspension and frame and everything. Like I said, with these trucks, it's nice to see all the inner working bits. When we get to the rear of the truck, that's where you're gonna see more of that midnight package going on. So you do get a midnight badge specific to the package, blacked out SV logo, blacked out Frontier. As we drop down, you do have your hookup for your trailer. The problem is that your electrical connections are kind of low. So if you do take this off-road, it's quite possible that this could get jammed up with dirt and mud and whatnot. But you do have a nice step here. And then as we go up onto the bed, no soft release tailgate. So you're gonna have to just do it the old-fashioned way and bring it down. There is your full bed protection. And then something that you don't see on a lot of trucks anymore is gonna be that extender there. That's gonna keep everything secure while you have the tailgate down and offer you up a little bit more room. Another thing to notice is you actually have rails in the bottom as well, and also on the sides of the bed. There's no interior lighting, so to me, that is a zonk. I would like some interior lighting, and there's really no factory tie down points anywhere. But why don't we go ahead, pop the hood, and see what we're working with power-wise in this Frontier. All right, guys, hood is popped. We do have a prop rod. I am gonna zonk that, because I'm telling you, even for Tom, this hood was on the heavier side, and Tom really could rip a hood off of anything. What you are noticing underneath the hood though, that is that tried and true 4-liter V6, naturally aspirated, 251 horsepower, 281 pound-feet of torque. It's all going, of course, through an automatic transmission. This truck can tow 6,720 pounds. And if you're wondering about MPGs, 16 in the city, 23 in the highway. To be honest with you, I'm pleasantly surprised with that engine cover. I've seen worse. Have I seen better? Sure, but I've seen worse. And like I said, this engine has gone unchanged for a very, very long time. But why don't we go ahead, fire it up, and see what this V6 sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2019 Nissan Frontier SV. Here's where things get really dated. So the interior has gone unchanged for obviously more than a decade, and it shows, but remember, we're trying to keep this at price point. Price point, this one, the way it sits, right around MSRP $31,000. Let's see what you get to the door panels. So the door panels, that very old style, everything is very hard plastic. The good news is, if you're gonna use this for any kind of work truck, that's gonna take a beating a little bit better, but the hard plastic, it's all gray, very simple. It's all about functionality. There's definitely no style really left going on in here because they kind of let it go out of style. Harder plastic on the dash. You do have a nice large glove compartment door there. They decided to give you some connectivity on the side, USB, an aux jack, and a 12-volt. Interesting placement. You got a cubby down here to run your phone and whatnot, but when we go up to the infotainment, you got a nice little cubby up there for some breath mints. Screen, very, very small, very dated. It does do the job though if you want to listen to music and whatnot. As we drop down, once again, more dated stuff going on here, but I'm trying to keep it to a minimum. I'm not zonking it because of the price point. You have your blower switch, you got dual climate control. It does tell you very largely what the temperatures are, so that is a very nice touch. We do have heated seats, no ventilated seats, and like I said, as we drop down, you have that cubby area. This thing, I'm telling you, brings back a lot of memories, just the shape of the shifter. You don't see them like this anymore, and that's probably a good thing. But you have this leather trim on it. This is a 5-speed automatic transmission. You have little LED lights that light up when you put it into the different gears to make sure you know where you're at. 2 cup holders, good old-fashioned e-brake with a simulated leather boot. You have a hard rubber armrest. Open it up. You got some interesting things going on here. You got, it looks like you can take some playing cards and maybe have that ready. You could play war with your passenger as you're driving down the road. Actually, I don't recommend that. You do also have your 12-volt and a good amount of storage, no felt lining, so don't put anything in there you don't want scratched. And then the seats. Not very attractive, but you know what? They remind me of the seats in my grandmother's house when I was a kid. They didn't look too good, but they're comfortable and they're supportive, so I do like that. And the material is very durable. It's just not a sexy seat by any means. It is bright with the headliner being a lighter color. Seating position, I'm 6 feet tall, and with all manual controls, I was able to get it to my body perfectly. But why don't you get on over here to the business end and I'll show you behind the wheel of this Frontier. All right guys, business end, behind the wheel of this Frontier. Like I said, the seats are very comfortable. I have lots of headroom. This steering wheel though, it's taking me back all the way to the year 2000. You remember how back in Y2K we were afraid the world was gonna end? I think we were afraid because of steering wheels like this. What I can say about it is you do have steering wheel controls for your phone and your cruise control, and it is leather wrap, which is very nice, but very, very dated in its look. Now I'm actually going to drop the steering wheel and have Tom come in from an angle because there is a sign of a simpler day and time. Back in the early 2000s, late 1990s, that's what gauge instrumentations look like in cars and trucks. Very simple, very straightforward, all analog, very clear. The only digital screen is you have down there for your odometer and your gear indicator. Everything else though is very, very simple. This is before smartphones. I would say it's before cell phones, but it's not that old. But hey, it does work. and it's easy to look at. But why don't we check out the back seat and see if it's gonna be a trip back in time for your passengers. All right, guys, come back to the future with me in this back seat. I'll be honest, 6-foot Joe Rady just smashed the top of his head on the inside of the ceiling in here. It is really tight. Once you get in, you get plenty of headroom, but here's the problem, especially for a taller person like myself. My knees are up much higher, much more so than compared to a Colorado, a Canyon, a Tacoma, any of those. I did have to move the seat up, so I'm not gonna tell a lie here. I did have to move the seat up to give myself some extra room, so hopefully your driver and passenger will do the same for you. Command center, there's not much of a command center. You have your 2 cup holders. This top portion doesn't do anything. No USB, no rear AC vents. But remember, back in Y2K, they didn't have that for passengers on trucks. The back of the seat is very upright, so being comfortable, you're not gonna want the trip to be long. You do have a nice sliding rear window that's manual control for the back passengers so they can get some air and not feel claustrophobic. But other than that, it does get the job done. Let's go ahead though, take this Frontier for a spin. All right, guys, we're inside the 2019 Nissan Frontier SV trim with the Midnight package. One thing that I realized right away, very, very smooth. The truck, that 4-liter with the 5-speed automatic is very, very smooth, which actually surprised me. Pulling out onto the highway here, let's go ahead and get on the loud pedal. Drops down. And I'm telling you, it's surprising because for a 5-speed automatic, which there really is not many in existence anymore, brand new, it shifts very well, very smooth. Now, you do get quite a bit of noise from the engine, but nothing too bad. Very comfortable though. The interior might be from Y2K, but it is very, very comfortable in here, and really focusing on the whole value price leader. If you are in the market for a new truck and you don't care about all the fancy tech, but you want something that's going to be reliable, durable, and at a good price point, this may be the truck for you, especially if you could get it below $80,000. $80,000. If you get it below $80,000, then you're gonna win. No, if you get it below $30,000, I think you really have a winner. If you're paying $80,000 for this truck, you overpaid. I can tell you that right now. But let's see how she handles through a little bit of twisty bits. I like the weight of the steering. It really does have great feedback to it, which is nice. Going into this left-hand bend, very smooth, very competent, not floaty. Rides really, really good. Rides really, really nice. So I do like that, how it is such a great experience that way. When it comes to visibility, out the back window, very, very good visibility. Front windshield, you got the A-pillars. They're at it. It's almost like they're not even existent. And then the side mirrors are a great size to let you see out both sides of the truck. The only thing I'm noticing with the steering is there's quite a bit of movement to turn the wheels, especially in tight places. So that might be something that you need to really take a look at when you take it for a test drive on how you feel about that. You do have that 7-inch touchscreen, like I was telling you, that has your radio controls and whatnot. You're not getting navigation or Apple CarPlay or anything like that, but you do have some surprising connectivity, USB wise, aux jack wise, and 12 volts. When you look at the gauge cluster, easy to read. If you're having a hard time reading this, you might need to go get your eyes examined for some glasses, because to look down, very simple. And I'm telling you, this truck, they should change the name from Frontier to Time Traveler. It should be called the Nissan Time Traveler, because I feel like I'm back in Y2K, the year 2000, driving a truck, a Nissan truck. And that's the good news, is that when it comes to power plant and drivetrain, you're gonna get a pretty reliable package here, because they haven't changed it since that time. 4-liter V6, it's got a nice amount of torque to it. It's very smooth. Not the best MPGs, but hey, what you're saving on the truck, you could spend a little bit more. It's not gonna cost you that much more at the gas pump. Seats are comfortable. I do really, really, really like the seats. Don't like the way they look, but I do like the overall feel of them. Very nice. And there's lots of room up here. Now, in the back, that's where the passenger is going to have a hard time, because it is cramped back there for the passengers. But up here for the driver and the front passenger, very, very comfortable.
and just smooth. It's a smooth driving truck.
All right, guys, we're gonna do an acceleration test from a dead stop. I'm gonna go ahead, get on the throttle. Traction gets down. Remember, this is just two-wheel drive. This particular version, you can get them four-wheel drive. It's really snappy. It really does surprise you. I am pleasantly surprised by this whole Nissan Frontier experience. But very controllable, very compliant. Steering wheel, I really don't want to look at it, but I like holding on to it in my hands. It does feel good. The leather, it's a nice thickness. AC's blowing nice and cold. Don't even ask about ventilated seats. There's no ventilated seats in this, but there are heated seats for when it does get colder, especially if you live up north. But it soaks up the bumps nice without being too floaty, and it's been just a pleasant surprise, I'll be honest. I've been avoiding this truck, and a lot of you have wanted me to film it and review it, so this one is for you, and I want to say thank you because it's been a pleasurable experience driving the Frontier. I guess next stop is the bigger brother, the Titan. All right, guys, before we head back, let me go through some tight, twisty stuff in the Frontier. I know this isn't a race truck, but just to show you how it handles. Very, very compliant. We got some floor mats and stuff sliding around the back seat. No big deal. Don't worry about that sound. But just very, very compliant through the turns. Steering feedback is on point. I do like that about this Frontier. But we're approaching this right-hand bend. This is a tight 90-degree turn. I'm on the brakes. Into the right-hand bend. Look at that. Great. It holds a line great. Very smooth. Really enjoying the experience in this truck. And if you just don't look at anything on the inside, if you just keep your eyes forward on where you're driving, you won't think you're in a truck that hasn't been redesigned in a very, very long time. Just don't look down as if you're on top of a building. But I am enjoying driving this Frontier. That part I am really, really enjoying. But anyways, now that we got it through the twisty bits, we're safe and sound, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Hopefully we gave you a nice, good overview of what the Frontier is about and it being that go-to for a value price leader. But we'll see you back at Moss Nissan in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Moss Nissan. Definitely got to thank David and everybody else at the dealership, so accommodating to Rady's rides. The big question, is this the value price leader? I think you're going to probably get more truck for the money with the Nissan Frontier. Is it the latest and greatest in technology? No, but you definitely are getting more truck. But if these are the types of things that you like to see on Rady's rides, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on Rady's Rides, click the link in the description. Takes you right to Spreadshirt. Get yourself some merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee. I gave him a little bit of a time travel, showed him what a simpler time was. I think Tom was about 5 years old back when this truck first came out. So thank you, Tom, for letting me relive the memories. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.